Okay, good morning, everybody. I hope you're well and doing good. We've got some wonderful news and we're back, right? We're back, but our name is now Good Morning Camarillo Seniors. So that includes the whole community of seniors that will be here in Camarillo. So we're excited for that. I'm here. I'm Bowie Brandt, your host. Bob Allen is here. He's our, our producer and technical director with KDTV, and Debbie Ferguson is here. She's our on call or on board nurse. So if you have medical questions and things like that, that's a good person to go to. Let's see, this is Thursday, right? It's Thursday and it's August 1st. So make sure you get your rent checks in. But we have some exciting news and some information as well. Bob actually went and got his driver's license. He had to go through this whole thing. Both Debbie and I had to get our driver's license, and it was a nightmare. I failed the test 3 times and had to come back the next day, pay another $45. I did the online tests, but I didn't study the book. And when I got to the DMV, I'm standing there like an idiot, and I didn't have a clue on a lot of the questions.
Oh yeah.
So they twist it a little bit, which makes it really hard to try and comprehend and fathom. So Bob had
They're,
the experience.
they're new questions that never were on the driver's exam before, and we all have been driving for many years, okay? So it was changed. In reality, we won't say anything, but it made it much more difficult for people to pass, and then you have to pay another $45 to come again. But share with them what you went through, Bowie, and how you studied for how many hours?
Well, all night I studied for 8 hours. The whole day I read that book, and I mentally tried to memorize. And even before I went to bed, I went through the whole book again, trying to memorize everything, and it was a nightmare. Luckily, I went back and passed. They also made me take my glasses off, which I've never had that happen
Yeah,
before.
they did me too. I read that book from start to finish 3 times. I was a wreck going in there. I literally thought I was going to throw up, to be perfectly
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And I stood. You do have the option. You can ask to sit down,
Yeah.
and you can ask to have a paper test and not stand at the computer. She put me in book 3, and I was there for quite a while, flunking 3, 4, I actually flunked 4 times. But after the third test, they don't allow you, they don't mark it anymore. And but you can sit down and take the test that way. But Bob's got a new twist to it, which I actually went online, Bob, and followed your advice and scrolled down to the e-learning. You want to tell them the steps for that?
It's
You
really
remember that? The e-learning?
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Okay. The engineer in me said, after I heard what you went through, I just didn't want to have to go through that again because the questions were so different than they ever were before. So I looked up, and it's this e-learning where you cannot fail the test. It's different segments that they first go through an education process, and then they have a quiz after each one. If you get it incorrect, they say, no, you're not correct. Here is, put down your next thought. And it's going through, it took me around 30 minutes. And all of a sudden, we had a passing grade. And this is what we want to get across to all seniors in the city of Camarillo is when you're having to take your driver's license test again, go online. And if you can't do it yourself, get somebody who can help you get online and go through this thing where you cannot fail.
Mhm.
So
Now you still, after you pass that test, you still have to come down and take the eyesight test and get the license, the temporary license,
the pick,
which
well,
is a
you gotta
pretty
get you got to get the picture and the whole thing. Exactly right.
Yeah. Yes. So when you go online, here's a trick. When you go to the e-learning, you click on that. It's so far down the scroll, I almost gave up. But then you see the senior. It's a little old lady with a little bun in her hair. It's a cartoon character, and you want to go down to that part of the site and click on the e-learning test or quiz. You know, the e-learning education block that they have there, and it'll save you a lot of consternation and time.
Well, and frustration. Okay.
Yeah.
And possibly a couple of $45 payments
Yeah.
to the DMV. And then
Yeah.
let's also let the seniors know about Debbie and what she has been part of our team because of her background and what we can have help seniors in the community.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to say. It's
Any
like,
way that oh, we got a blurb there. What were you saying?
I said, I didn't know what you wanted me to say. So I'll just kind of,
Okay.
Well,
Well,
you're
just
go ahead, Marie.
are you available? Is there any way, for questions that people might have? Can they write to us here or, email us or whatever, and you be able to answer some of the questions? We had one lady last week that her blood pressure was really, really high, but she didn't want to go to the hospital and was wondering what can she do instead of having to go to the ER and going through all that stuff when it's really high. If there's any remedy or something, that or information you would suggest.
I mean, I can't practice as a physician would. And I would always defer back to the physician because I don't know all the medications they're on and everything. But if they're looking for some advice, I'm more than happy to give advice and see if I can help them call their doctor or, something like that. I'm more than happy to do that. I just
Ye-
don't want people to think that what I say is set in stone because I can't practice medicine as a nurse. I follow a physician.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
what we can do is offer, if people have a medical question, to send it in.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that you think is important for the whole community to know about,
Yep.
then
Yep.
we can do a Zoom, where you're just recommending them and let other seniors know exactly, who wants. So we're getting some specific information out to the community.
And I think
Yeah.
there are several nurses within our community. So it would be nice, maybe, who knows, maybe we can get together and come up with some ideas for people too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The one thing I'm worried about is the the ones that don't have a lot of family here,
Yes.
and how do they stay in touch with people in case, they have an emergency like that they're unable to call the police or call their family or whatever, it's like hard here to know
Well,
everybody, but it would be,
if we start with the people who are technically competent to be able to, discuss things, it's the 80-20 rule. If we go after the first 80%, getting the rest of the 20% is going to be very, very easy. Like where we live in the apartment complex, from a senior, somebody who doesn't know how to use the computer and get on, we certainly can help them with that.
yeah. The point that the management made here about starting the community or resident council in charge that would be there for or organizing the different classes and things or things that people want to do. Like one lady wants to teach wreaths. And one of them could be a technical thing just to show people how to get on their email or, do the necessary things on the computer here in-house And then later on, it could be done at any other senior facility that have an in-house class for that.
Isn't that what
Instead of them having to go to the community center, which Pleasant Valley, Pleasant Valley Community Center there has lots of programs and things, but it's getting there. It's driving there
Yeah,
that some people
true.
aren't even driving. So for us to go to them, I think would be something
But
very
yesterday
nice.
they had the from Cal State Channel Islands, the group here, the Ollie group. And as we were going down there, I think Deb and I walked in and spent the last couple of minutes with them. We offered them an opportunity if they want to talk to seniors instead of only doing it to 10 people with the 10 chairs that are in the media room. Why not do a Zoom meeting and invite as many community members as would like to see it? Better than that, it's available for everybody to watch it after it's recorded.
Yeah,
This will
that's a
be
great idea. Yeah, was she amenable to that?
very much so.
Oh,
Very,
good.
very much so. And there was a gentleman, I don't know, I didn't get his card, but he was looking for sponsors, people who want to,
Oh,
you know, who want to become part of their group.
Yeah.
And wow, we
He was amazing. There are a lot of senior volunteers at the university, and they're always looking for more. I thought that was wonderful.
yeah,
yeah. Well, the thing that confused me was, I know Marty and Jack, they're taking courses with the university, and Marty had said that the courses for us are free. What confused me when I went online to register for one of the classes, um, I didn't see where, I mean, they were asking for a fee. I didn't
mm.
want to be, so it's news that help me if I'm wrong, if the speak about that at all.
We
I
weren't at
know.
the whole meeting.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll find out about
The one thing I know that
then. I'll make that a point to
there
find
was
that out.
one thing that they did talk about was that if you park your car there, you have to pay a parking fee.
Oh,
If
but no, not if we have our University Glen sticker.
that doesn't work on campus. That's the question I asked when I got there. So anybody who's taking a
Uh,
course where they have
okay,
to go on to
all right.
campus,
We'll find out about
And Bowie, I took 3 courses for the summer session, and your first course was free, so there was no payment at all. But then my second 2 courses, I had to pay $15 for each, but they were only 1-day courses. So I don't know, if
that.
that is completely different as well.
Were they at the university or were they Zoom?
They
Because
were,
some,
well, you could do both. There were a couple that were hybrids and then one that was completely Zoom.
okay.
yeah.
Well, we'll find out about that parking then, because I know when the Island Cafe opens, I'd been to the Island Cafe, which is on campus, and parked my car in a parking lot with my university sticker, not my Anna Kappa sticker, but the university pass that they have, the one that you didn't get in your welcome thing.
Yes, I still don't have it.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you need to,
Ah,
yeah, you need
It's
to
been almost a
get.
month.
Yeah, what we need to do is you need to email them, make sure it's a paper trail, right?
Yep.
And then either make an appointment to talk to them personally, like Jocelyn said, to make appointments. They after 10 from 10 to 4, they would take appointments with the seniors here, the
Okay.
residents. So follow that up with a double, an email and an appointment. And
Okay.
the other thing is also, I've heard nothing for the resident council. uh, there's been no sign up sheet outside, but I emailed them just the other night And uh we need to sign up for the garden. They said they'd have the garden sign up. That hasn't happened. So she said you have to make a, call them and make a formal um uh signing, signing in for it. And so I emailed them, but still there's no sign up sheet. What else was happening? Yeah,
Oh,
that was that.
Bowie, can I just verify that? I'll talk to you later, but can I just verify the email that you're using, the address that you're using to get to them in the office?
Oh yeah, it's just vintage@anacapacanyon.com.
Okay,
You have to have the whole thing. Vintage
okay,
Anacapa Canyon. Yeah. And when you go on for your parking pass, because I did find out it's 2 cars and 4 hours only. If you have
Well,
a visitor come, you have to register them with, it's in our lease agreement stuff, that they have a whole page for that. But we'll see what happens with that, and
okay,
yeah, so if it's, I saw them the other day, the security people were coming down the hill in the front of the building, one of the hills, I think it's Diablo or Fraser. Um, and they were marking the tires with chalk.
oh,
So I gather they went back in another 4 hours, and if the car was still there, it would get ticketed. So
okay.
we want to make sure our friends and neighbors know about that, and that they don't get a $75 ticket or whatever it is.
It's an excellent point of what we're trying to do with this Good Morning Camarillo seniors. It's
Yes,
getting
yeah,
information from other seniors that living in this community about what's going on. And how important
yes.
is it when there's no other news media that is giving us that
Mhm.
information? So I'd like to offer, if anybody's out there and has an opportunity or they're thinking of something that we could be doing, please send an email to Bob Allen at kadytv.com. And
Good.
this way we can get something started, and whatever it be, it's going to be for the good of the community, because we're
Right.
certainly not going to try and do anything that hurts the community.
Right. A really good information hub. I would love that. Wonderful.
And
Oh, I wanted to say, speaking of timely stuff, tomorrow, Friday, is the food share. But you have to go online and register for the food share. I just, that gives you a qualification number. So I would hope you would still have time today to be able to maybe go online to Ventura County Food Share at .com, I guess it is, their website. Just, punch in food share. Um, and be able to register for that. It's a drive up, and they actually load the bags of groceries into your car. So which would be great. The pickup station, they have, uh, I forget where the location was. Um,
in Oxnard off of Indian.
is it Oxnard? Okay, I thought there was a local one, but yeah, for sure there was an Oxnard one, but I thought there was a Camarillo, but maybe not. And then oh, also next August 6th, the Rescue Mission Alliance is coming for donation pickups. And they always send me an email saying, we're picking you're up. If you know anybody else that wants a pickup, please have them call for the pickup. So that's a Rescue Mission Alliance, and they are going to come and pick up. They will come to our doors. You just can't leave a lot of junk out in front of your doors. They have to be bagged or boxed and marked
Okay.
with Rescue Mission Alliance. But it free service, and all this stuff we got to get rid of, because I know my kids don't want it. So I need to get it out of here. So hopefully other people will be able to take advantage of that.
You got
All
that?
right. One thing I want to say and let everybody know that KDTV also has the myeulogy.com, and we're trying to think of how to leave a legacy to our children and our children's children and their children, which is a wonderful visual for me for, you know, that ancestors. Uh, the eulogy is pretty simple and Bob will handle it all. Why don't you tell them about it, Bob?
Well, the way I found out was we do a lot of live streaming for funeral services at Garcia Mortuary. And I find out that when someone passes, the first thing they ask the family to do is to bring some pictures in so that they could create a video showing the person in what his life was. And I'm saying, why would it not be my living eulogy, which is a video of, depending on how far you want to be, like I started off my living eulogy with my childhood. I started off with my high school years, my college years, and people could see it. It's on the homepage of kadytv.com. And it's, if you scroll down, you'll see, and we're going to get this hopefully for the senior communities in Camarillo. That's the start of what we're doing here. But it would be something that, like my wife and I became great grandparents this year. Well, I don't want my grandson telling my great grandson about his grandpa Bob and grandma Elaine. I want my Camden to take a look at a video, and it's in today's society, this is what the future will be. So if we start something here in our own Camarillo senior community, this could be the model for all other communities.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah,
And it would just be a Zoom. They wouldn't have to go anywhere to have to video it, right? To broadcast it.
exactly right. So if anybody's interested, email me at bobalan@kadytv.com. We'll have that up here the next time we talk, so people will have that. But yeah, it's something that we have to look forward, that the next generation of seniors will be expecting this technology to be available, not saying I don't understand it.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Well, we're the break-in here.
It was a good startup for our Good Morning Camarillo seniors.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
you know,
excited.
whatever we want to call it, podcast or weekly, show. But
Yeah.
we got to get people that if they want to know what's going on in the community, this is where they have to come to.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Well, there's only a few weeks left of summer, and I know the music in the park is there's only like 2 or 3 more. So if you feel like venturing out, get your chair and your blanket and head on into Camarillo and see what it's got to offer you. Hopefully, we'll see you all next week, God willing.
You
And
got
thank you,
it.
Bob. Thank you, Deb. And
Thank
bye,
you.
everybody. Have a good one.